Hello again, this is Stephen Dupree of NowEnergetics.com, based on YUEN Method, and here's another driving series. It's a pretty sunny day out. Thought I'd talk about opposites a lot. It comes up a lot in YUEN Method and neutrality clearings, and the definition of that is usually what your issue is just the opposite of what what comes up in the energy of what someone maybe thought, believed, expected, anticipated, imagined, all these ways, experienced in the past. So opposites is often why people stay stuck in their symptoms. So they're thinking it's a specific thing, and it's a 180-degree thing in their energy. So they don't resolve anything, and that's why that what supplies the energy to persist whatever manifestation they're in at that moment is the fact that they have the wrong answer, basically. And the most common problem that we see is opposites. It's actually one of the perception blocks I put into the perception blocks article. There's both a YouTube video and there's also an article on my NowEnergetics.com website about clearing 16 common perception blocks, and opposites is a very, very common one. So, and the ones that people would say, oh, there's no way that's the problem. Well, it comes up probably more than half the time in a session, opposites. And you have to kind of take note of that when it comes up, because it creates another whole nother area of clearing that's a much more abstract but much bigger issue in many cases. Instead of going issue by issue, a person may just have an issue with opposites. So, let's say it's a practitioner that's doing YUEN Method and neutrality work, and they're telling you that they have some issue that they're afraid of hurting someone. Well, very often what will go weak in their energy, energetically weak, which is really the issue, the direction of the issue is an energetic weakness in this case. It's really if they improve somebody. So they say they're afraid of hurting someone, but really they're afraid of improving someone. Let's say they improve them every single time. It's kind of scary to be that accurate that you're going to be right every time and improve someone every time. It kind of scares people because they're not used to that kind of immediacy. Another one that's very common is people think they suck at it. Gee, I think I'm going to suck at this. No, it's just the opposite. If you're really too good at this, it would freak you out in the same way. You're afraid to be good. So what are some of the other ones? Well, I don't trust my answers. You hear that a lot. I'm using my intuition. I don't trust my answers. Well, actually, if they could trust their answers, it would really bother them, right? If they could be accurate all the time. So it's another shade of that. And, it's a shade of the right, wrong, not wrong. I'm afraid I'll be wrong. Well, no, you're actually afraid that you'll be right, so that's what usually goes weak in people's energy. So the idea is that at a real high level, you want to always be checking the energy of the words that people feed us in their stories, but you also, a good way to look at some of this is to look at opposites a lot. So if someone puts up some word or concept and it doesn't go weak, you could always just check the opposite and see if it's just an opposite issue, and then if it's an opposite issue, you want to see if that's a big enough issue to work on all by itself, right? Opposites as a whole. So I just want to make that kind of clear that that's a really, really common and very useful clearing for a lot of people. This could be a huge weight off of them to clear opposites. So people are going to bring you issues all the time. They're pain in the leg or something like that. But the wider thing to clear might be something much more abstract, and we talk about that in other videos. But one of the clear ones that stands out in the top 3 or 5, are opposites. So just be aware of that when you're doing sessions and when you're checking people's energy. And I think you'll be surprised how often it comes up, and that it will give you a much more better session and better results. So I guess I'll leave it at that. Look for opposites. It's a good place to start.